Guys, welcome to live trading. Welcome to live trading, everybody. We've got the usual crew, the sniper crew is here. Look at our cool backgrounds. I feel like the odd one out. Some of us are still buying our black shirts. They're coming. I know Chris is hunting. Jay's looking. We've got a Kava chart, which has come out of nowhere, guys. Well, maybe because I stopped watching it because it got so boring. But how's this Kava chart? On the 8-hour, breaking a little bit of a trend, looking a bit interesting. I was looking at some Banter bubbles. So we got CAS performing today. This is the week. Hold on, let's hit today. A lot of green here. Iota is something we need to watch. Render's pumping a bit today. Kava's moving. So there's a little bit of action. And BTC is doing its usual thing, which is nothing. Maybe Jay can poke it with a stick for us today, like last week, and get something going there for us, Jay.
Yeah, I've got a coin breaking out as we talk.
Oh, well, what is it? What is it? Because I've got Kava. What else do you have there?
It's called the US dollar.
You got us so excited. You got us so excited, Jay. Okay, yeah. Guys, we'll deal with Kava just now. Just get it on your watch list. Keep an eye on it. Jay, tell us what's going on out there, please.
Sure. Hello, everybody. So, yeah, this is the 4-hour chart of the DXY or the US dollar, and you can see that we have popped our head above the 105 level that we're expecting to be acting as resistance. It hasn't closed a candle, a daily candle, above 105 yet. There could still be a rejection in this area, but you can see previously this area was acting as very strong resistance, and you can see we've pushed through. Unfortunately, a move up in the US dollar is negative for risk on assets, and we can see we've seen a bit of a pullback in stocks today. And obviously, crypto is very undecided currently. If we do get above 105, then I would imagine that we could go, obviously, and test the next resistance. That could be anywhere between sort of 105.50 going up to 106. Obviously, a move up will be very negative. And, yeah, we have to keep a very close eye on this. If I go and look at the RSI for any indication of bearish divergence, nothing on the daily yet. If I go to the 4-hour, we can see slight bearish divergence. So what I'm really looking at, and I'm comparing it to Tuesday, where the RSI on Tuesday was higher than where it is currently is, yet the DXY on Tuesday is lower than where it is currently. So this is showing bearish divergence because the RSI is not confirming the current move up. So it is on the 4-hour. It is not a long term. So I'm hoping that we do get rejected in this area and we start coming down. Now, any move sort of down will be positive for the markets. If we go look at the other catalyst that drives the market is the 10-year yield, and the 10-year yield is now once again in that area of resistance between sort of 4.28 going up to 4.4, and this area is quite a strong resistance area. If we look at October last year, we tried to get through here, that got rejected and came down again. We did try and break through again earlier in, it was around the 21st of August. And currently we are at the start of that resistance, as I say, 4.28. So there might be a rejection here, create a lower high. A lower high will obviously be bearish, and we might have further downside. So we want to see further downside in the 10-year yield, and we want to see a rejection here in the DXY. Going over to the S&P. So the S&P is open an hour ago. It has gapped down. Let me go on to a smaller time frame. I'm going on to the 15-minute. So the support area which we bounced off last night was the 4444 area. We did go up slightly, then earlier today we broke to the downside, and there is a gap that is formed here on the 15-minute between sort of 4465 and 4446. So what I'm looking for here is at some time to go up and close this gap, and then we could possibly have further downside after that. That all obviously a move down would obviously be where the DXY carries on trending up, or the 10-year yield starts spiking up higher. So if the DXY rejects and starts coming down, obviously the stock market will reverse and go up. If we have a look on higher time frames, we have come from an area at the end of July at around about 4595. There was a gap between the 1st and 2nd of August, and that was based on the credit rating on the US debt, where it went from a AA to a AAA, which was negative, and that resulted in the markets gapping down. That gap has not been closed yet. We did attempt to go up to that area on the 1st of September, but unfortunately it got rejected at the start of this resistance area at 4543, and we have created a lower high in the process, and we have started to come down. So after the 4444 area, the next level of support would be this trend line, this dotted trend line that is coming from the 4th of May. I would expect if we come down here, that would act as some sort of support. A breakthrough there would come down to the support area that we tested on the 18th of August, and that is around about 4265, going up to 4328. So stock market started off a bit negative today. As I say, we're waiting to see a rejection on the DXY for any movement up there. Okay, let's just, while we're talking here, just have a look at that dominance chart, which is really just going sideways on that area of support that I spoke around at 49%, just going sideways. So we're on a major area of support at the moment. That was a previous resistance area over the last 2 years, coming from May 2021, and we broke out in June this year. So we've come down to retest it. Previous major resistance is now acting as major support for the dominance. We are also in the 8-hour, 12-hour, in a falling sort of channel, white channel, which is bullish, where there's a 68% chance of a break to the upside and a 32% chance of a break to the downside. If we do break to the upside, that means that Bitcoin is becoming more dominant and more cash is leaving the alts and flowing into Bitcoin or into USDT. And the reason why the dominance will increase if it goes into USDT is because the alts tend to drop quicker than Bitcoin. So that's the reason why the Bitcoin will become more dominant. We go and have a look at Bitcoin at the moment. And let me just go down to the 4-hour. Really not doing anything at the moment. We did have a push up that was last night where it wicked, captured liquidity, and pretty much just going sideways here. Nothing to really talk about around BTC, unfortunately. And I would imagine Ethereum, I haven't looked at the chart. Yeah, also doing the same, pretty much nothing at the moment.
So we had that positive ETH news yesterday, but the market bought and sold it all so quickly.
Yeah. So what that means is that any positive news up, there are sellers waiting. So it is a bearish market. Any positive bulls up, sellers are waiting for price to come up to any sort of resistance level, and they're selling out regardless. They're cutting their losses.
So, Jay, we've got two interesting events next week, which might also explain why everyone is so cautious and, things are just kind of hanging around. The S&P is looking a little bit flat. We've got this quadruple witching situation on the 15th, which is an event that only happens it looks like 4 times a year, give or take, where we have massive volume coming into the market, selling, buying, etc. It's the expiration of stock index futures, single stock options, what else we got here? Futures and options are derivatives linked to underlying stock prices. When derivatives expire, traders must close or adjust positions. So you can imagine the size of these leveraged positions that are there. So people are exercising a lot of caution at the moment. And then we've also got a small little thing to deal with next week, Jay, the CPI on the 13th, on Wednesday. So it's a hell of a week coming. So I think it would explain a lot that, things are a little bit quiet while we wait and see. I think we're going to get big moves next week. And I think we're going to get that nice big sell-off on BTC. Well, that's what I'm hoping for. That's what me and Dave have been strategizing. We're going to get this long sub 25 on BTC. We're hoping for a big sort of pull down there. So that's our plan for now. We just got to keep watching, I suppose, and let the days pass. But I see these altcoins are still moving.
If we do get a push down, I would imagine that there's a lot of buyers' interest in this area from the June lows at around about 24,800, going up sort of to about 25,200 area. This area over here, I would imagine, coming from this sort of week here on the 17th of August, sort of this area, 25,200. Going down to 24,800, I would imagine there's a lot of buyers waiting for, as you say, Bitcoin to come down here, and then hopefully we'll have a positive reaction to the upside. So, for me, Dylan, even though I don't want to be bearish in this, right now, but I think a bearish move down will actually be positive for the market because it will come down, those buyers will come in, and then obviously we have hopefully a positive reaction to the upside.
Agree. Yeah, I agree. So it's something exciting to wait for, and hopefully we're going to catch it. Guys, there are comments in the chat. My new mic hasn't been set up properly. So I see some of the guys are saying they can't hear me. Again, just tech issues following me around everywhere. They never seem to leave. But so we'll hopefully get it sorted out.
Dylan, I'm watching this one alt. It's called WLD, and if we go onto the 8-hour, I've got a bit of a trend line, and we can see that it only got launched on Barbit on the 24th of July. And since the 2nd of August, it has been in a downtrend, quite a big downtrend, coming from an area of about $2.45 to where it's currently trading at 121. But regardless, we did manage to break out of here. That was yesterday in the morning. We broke out, and we've come down to currently an area of interest, of support. And I'm watching it very closely currently. If we hang out in this area of support, sort of around about 1.18 going up to 1.22, I might start laddering in this area here. And then hopefully for a move back up again to obviously the next area of resistance, or if we can put a fib on there, that obviously will give us an indication where we could possibly go to. And if I just take a fib, the 382 is at 159, and that is spot on in an area that I would imagine this 159 area. You can see it was acting as resistance up here, 159, 160. So there's a possible trade on WLD if Bitcoin behaves itself.
Jay, I'm so happy that you have woken up. We've been begging Jay to come in with some alpha here and some trade setups. Jay, I'm super excited about this.
Awesome.
You haven't given us an alpha setup in a while, so this is a good one. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Maybe we need to give you your own section in the Discord. where you can drop some charts in there.
That would be so awesome, man.
Okay, well, let's do it. Guys, I've added David's section in the Discord as of today, so he'll be dropping charts. You know, Bruce is posting in there. We've got an indicator section in there. Jay, let's get something in there, and we'll get something in there for Chris too. We'll maybe have a general section where the guys that are jumping in can put some of their charts. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. There's a small falling wedge on the 15-minute that I've just put in there now. You can just see that. That's quite bullish, obviously.
Okay, nice.
Thank you.
And Simon is saying he's posted a couple of things in the Discord, Banter Discord, under the indicator section. He couldn't join us today, unfortunately, but he is sharing info in there for you guys. Okay, Tom wants to send me some charts. Yeah, guys, if you want to get charts to me on Twitter, just tag me in the post. I think the guys can't DM me. Okay, so yeah, we've covered the Forex factory situation, CPI next week. We've got the quadruple witching we need to deal with. But right now we have alts that are doing all sorts of things. Guys, I've added this perp to my watch list. I just keep forgetting to look at this. 786, little rejection here. I mean, again, we're sitting here saying we've missed the ride. We've missed the boat on this, but is it over? I don't know. It could go some more. The best way to do this, I've put a little plan together for you guys. When you see these moves happening, this is something I like to look for.
You're on Sibanye, JC there.
Oh, well, let's trade the JSE then. Why don't we? Hold on. Let's switch the screen.
I was wondering, I was like, whose screen are we looking at, Jack?
Guys, I don't only trade shit coins. there are a couple of other things we trade too. Okay, here we go. How's that? Okay, this is Perp.
Yeah, that's Perp.
So when things run away like this, obviously it's difficult to get the perfect entry, but if something's super bullish, there's a little strategy that I use, and I mean it's a typical stuff that we talk about often. I just generally do it on a bigger time frame for you guys, but if you're trying to get into a bullish token, you got to look for bullish setups. Like, for example, we've got this flag over here that you can track. I love these setups that you get like this with these higher lows, and you get the squeeze. So I love waiting for these situations. We get these pullbacks, and then we get these pops. So you can do that on the 15-minute. It takes obviously a lot of screen time. You got to watch. You got to wait. So it's not as simple as sitting back watching a daily and a 4-hour when these things are running. So you can get it, and it takes a bit of practice. But that's the type of thing I look for: these little squeezes, flags, and it can go more. You know, look at this now. It seems to be pushing. I'd look for some more sort of structure here. But let's see if we get something like that. It might go again. If not, it comes down. We can look for support areas where you can look for another buy. So you need to have a strategy. It takes a bit of practice. Jay, do you do anything different to that? You watch the 15 minutes, or do you go deeper? Do you go 5 minutes? How do you plan these things when you're chasing these big candles?
I'll start at the 4-hour, and then I go down to the 1 hour. Then for that sniper entry, obviously down to 15-minute, 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So look, right now, Perp is at a resistance area, 786. So just watch this. You might get a little rejection here. It did blow straight through the 618 that we saw. So yeah, we zoom in, take a look, see if you can get a flag, see if you can get an entry there. But the higher it goes, the riskier it gets. The risk reward seems to start dipping. So just be careful on that. Render's been moving. We spotted this trend break yesterday on Render. It was quite a slow mover. It was like quietly creeping up. This is the Render 4-hour. Now it's turned on its motors and it's going. So if you caught that break, it was on the Discord as well yesterday. We did discuss it briefly, I think, on Sheldon's show as well. It should be moving now. My idea for Render is ideally up there, but we do have some work to do. We got to get through this area. But I think once we get up here, we're going to have a nice reaction. We could get a good rejection there for the shorters. So just watch this. I do have an alarm here, 1.55 for you guys on the Discord. Rune, we got a little trend break again. Is Rune turning bullish here, guys? Look at this. It's climbing up. It's broken this big trend. Could be something going on here. I've got a little 618 down here waiting as a potential pullback area, but it seems to be getting a little bit of support here on trend. I don't know. Have you guys been watching a bit of Rune?
I saw it. I saw that trend break as well. Saw the chart update. So I opened up a small long there.
Okay, so guys, David is long and strong. Okay, trend break, retest. Let's see how we go. I like this 618 as a stop area or a pullback zone. If things start moving against you, you could probably exit under that region, I would say. Depends on your leverage. Depends how you're trading it. If you're a spot trader, you can let things slide a little bit more. If you're low leverage, also, but if you're high leverage, you got to get these things tight. So just be careful there. Link, we got a little rejection at this high. So we were tracking two areas. One of them was this over here on the 4-hour. And then we had the two sort of, what do we call them, deviation highs, but it's another little mini range going on here. So we really want to see Link break into this area and start playing here before it goes. I have highlighted this zone here for you guys. It's also in the Discord, 6.17 region, that sort of area as a potential bounce. So let's see if it sort of waggles its way down, pulls down. We'll look for a reaction there to send it back into that range. Uni, I've got 4-hour. So it's just a scenario I'm thinking about for Uni. It depends how things go with BTC over the next couple of days, obviously. But I'd love to see a little pullback onto this trend and just start getting this ready and teeing us up maybe into next week. That would be, let's see where the 15th is. The 15th would be about here. So maybe it can get us ready into the 15th. And then if things turn out okay and the news is all right, we might get that pop up. And otherwise, we're looking at a rejection down. So right now, I'm just watching this. I want to see this wedge sort of play out and squeeze. At any time, if we lose this trend, I'd look at these areas down here for a test. And we've also got that to watch. Avax. Should we even talk about Avax? Getting close. Look at this. Close to trend. Something could be happening in the next few days. Let's see how it plays out. But this takes us to about Saturday. So let's see. Maybe a little bit more up, down for Atom. Let's see what happens when we get here. We're either going to get a little rejection there, or we might get a little push. The guys might jump in when we break that trend. So let's see how we go there. Still, just no activity here. If you are a spot trader and you fancy Avax and you like these areas, we just bouncing up and down. A little bit of accumulation here. Maybe something big happens there. Matic, I grabbed a small Matic long yesterday. So we took a few trades yesterday after these lives. I know there was Sol off Bruce's low. We grabbed Matic. I'm going to show you guys now why we grabbed Matic, and then I stayed in that Atom position. I've closed the Sol situation, and I left Matic and Atom. I just wanted to see how they played out today. So Matic was a very simple one. Pull back onto trend in the 618, and we got a nice little bounce. Are you guys still in it, or did you exit?
I got out of it.
Okay, so look, it's hilarious. We're getting excited about a 3.5% bounce here, but it's nice to get a little bit of green. You get the bounce, you get the move, you take some profit. It's nice. But guys, the way we played it, we just waited for Matic to pull down. During that live, we highlighted this trend. We were waiting for Matic to dip lower. It happened to dip lower, say an hour after the session. We caught it and just traded it back up there. So that was a cool one. Atom, I got Atom on the 618 there when we got the break, and I'm just parking in it. Got a little rejection there, 382, which was a TP zone we highlighted in the Discord. I'd like to obviously see it push higher now and go over there. Would I enter here? I don't know. I think there's probably better setups now. But as far as this goes for Atom, we are sitting on a 618. You can see it's bouncing, it's reacting. So if you fancy Atom, that is an area of interest to watch. But the best entry was this guy over here, that trend break, little retest. They try to put pressure on us there. They did carry on. Injective looks very similar to Matic, to Avax, guys. It's just chilling here, very tight range, waiting for this trend to come visit. When we hit this trend, we're going to get something. Okay, there's going to be something for us. So that also takes us to the weekend. So let's see what happens this weekend. SNX, this is played out so nicely, hey? We've actually really handled this thing really well. Bruce, you did exceptionally well on this one. We got that 382 buy originally. Then Bruce got a trend break, okay, which was actually ridiculous. It's come back perfectly and testing old resistance, guys. So old resistance areas and a fib. It's now bouncing on this as support. So this is a nice, strong area for us. So if you get a deep pullback into the zone, you want to look for potential entries here. Now is not an entry, it's moving. But we like that area. If that doesn't hold, we might have another look at this 382. But this is just a classic setup that we like. We break through that old resistance, come back, test it as support, and give us a nice strong bounce. And this has played out perfectly. And then Kava, guys. So this is what I'm thinking about with Kava. I'd expect some kind of reaction here, which could give us this retest that we want. So that's ideally for me. I think I'd have a go at Kava if we get that move up and we reject. So let's pull a fib from the low to the high. Let's assume that high is at 618 where it rejects. And let's give it a 382 as well. Okay, so these are two retest areas that we could possibly look at. So let's take that out. Okay, so if we get that break for Kava, bang, let's look for that rejection, which looks like a nice area that it could reject. Okay, you can see why I like that. And we've also got the 618 there. Let's look for a pullback. This could be the first area to consider. And then this is the next one, the 618. This is a nice zone. Trend retest 618. You saw that on Atom. So it worked on Atom, worked on Matic, worked on a few. So I'd say that's something to watch. Either one of these areas as a retest. Iota. So I don't know what's going on with Iota. It used to be a very sexy coin in 2021. It was like the latest tech. It was incredible. And then the project team collapsed or something happened and everyone forgot about it. But we used to trade this thing all the time. It was on the top of my list. It seems to be coming alive again. Something's happening. Here's a little trend break or potential trend break on the cards for you. So maybe add it to your watch list if it's something that interests you. Maybe just do some reading about what Iota is. I think it was the Internet of Things or whatever it was. But there was a lot of hype about it. It used to be a big promising coin. I think they were launched in 2017 or something. So this is looking interesting. Look for a rejection, look for a retest, then maybe we get that second move. Okay, rejection, I like that because it's the 200-day MA and we've got horizontals. So we should get a reaction there if it pops. And then your opportunity will be on the pullback. You can buy that trend retest. Okay, see Perp's rejecting on the 786. Guys, and that's me. As far as altcoins are concerned, some of the guys wanted me to look at natural gas and one or two other things. So while you guys are showing your stuff, I'll draw up a little natural gas chart for you guys and look at a few of these others. Who's ready?
Perfect. I am ready for a couple.
Okay, and guys, remember now, Bruce and David have their own section in the Discord. So whatever Bruce shows you here, he can drop in the Discord. When he's not on the lives, he's going to drop his thoughts or his charts on the Discord as well. And it might not just be Tomo. There'll be some surprises there for us, I'm sure. So something exciting. Okay. Thanks, Bruce. Take it away.
You're very welcome. It's funny you did Perp last. By the way, is Iota the one that is working with Helium? If you can put this in the chat, with Helium now instead of HNT, and it's and they've moved the whole thing over to the Solana network. If that's what it is, then that's something that is really cool.
Okay. That is good news for it, because it sounded like it was a dead project. So guys, let us know in the chats if you have any info on that.
I've been mining Helium for quite a while now, and of course it kind of died off, but all of a sudden everything moved over to IoT, and then the IoT converts to Solana. It's running on the Solana chain, and it's really slick now. So the money's not big yet because the prices are so low, but it's kind of cool. So it's interesting you ended on Perp, because I'm focusing. I never did this before, but given the fact that, following the Bitcoin and things that correlate to Bitcoin, you kind of need a magnifying glass to see the moves. And we make money on the difference between an entry price and a sell price. So I'm looking at things that are moving right now. And Perp was the last one I looked at. And it's near its all-time high right there, but I'm expecting at some point, and again, I'm not sure I'm going to take this, but I'm expecting, again, a retracement back over to here, and then possibly a push up again. I'll be keeping my eyes open for that. It's not in the books yet because it hasn't started to retrace yet, but just something I'm looking at. Things I am looking at, though, are LPT, which I've done one trade already on, and like it, it's clearly at the moment in a range right there. So rejection off the support of the range, which you can draw the trend line, see if it comes down a little deeper into there, breaks up and maybe retests it. Could be a decent entrance for a potential 15, 16, 70% move back up to resistance again. As long as it stays in that range, you can rinse and repeat this over and over again. But I'm definitely looking at that right now. Solana, we talked about yesterday, and that was a sweet little trade. I just set up my TP at that resistance level, and it just kind of hit it and rejected off it, kind of as expected. So now what we do is we watch it again and see if it comes back down to this support area here and repeat it. I mean, if it does it again, we'll take it again. Because again, except for this deviation right there, it's really just been in this range. And that's cool until it hits this trend line. And then we start looking at a different setup that might take it up higher, which is what we're all hoping for on Solana. Another one I'm looking is UNF. I don't even know what it's called. Unfi. Again, it's moving very consistently, right? It's coming up, it's retracing, it's coming up, it's retracing, it's coming up. So again, with something like this, I like to personally plan trades well in advance so they can watch them come to Papa. So I'm really hoping this comes up maybe a little more, comes back and retraces somewhere into the conjunction of this trend line and this horizontal support. I can't draw a fib on it yet because we don't know where the top is, right? So that if you're going to do a fib, let's say we're going to draw it to zero room tracer, you draw it from there, and that would be the 382. The problem with that is we don't know that that's the top yet, right? So we're going to wait for this to, clearly pump up, clearly turn over, and then we use our fib to anticipate where a likely target for that would be. But Unfi looks like it's, again, as long as it's continuing in that consistent upward direction, to be able to take longs off that trend line and horizontal levels. Looking at that, and then the last one, of course, is Tomo. And oh boy, I was about to tell you that we missed it, but I retract that. So Tomo, we got the last entry we got on Tomo was right
Are
off
we
that
short, Bruce?
rejection. What's that?
Are we shorting
Yes.
now?
Yes,
Okay, let's short it.
and I
Let's
thought we
short it
missed
right
it
now.
because of, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm kind of excited because when I looked at the chart, I don't know how this happens, but I get pinged all day long and all night on Discord and WhatsApp with people telling me about their Tomo trades, and it's really exciting because they tell me about things that I'm
this is a
missing.
great thing for you, Bruce. The
It's
Tomo
cool.
legend. This is good
cool
stuff, man.
because I got a notice in one of my groups where someone said right after this wick, because they're getting to know it really well. He said right after that wick, which you can all but guarantee is going to happen, they entered. Hold on, let me zoom in just a bit because it's so cool.
So just to confirm, Bruce, am I short right here? Am I
Yeah.
selling here?
I'm
Okay.
gonna, as soon as I'm done talking, I'm just gonna do it.
Okay.
I mean, here's the real possibility. I'm gonna explain what happened and then the setup, and then I'm gonna give you the caveat. But one of the guys just pinged me and said, "Oh yeah, right after that wick, they just entered short right there." I was like, "How cool is that?" Right? I mean, that's like so perfect that they got that. But anyway, it broke the trend line. It came back, and right before the show, it was already kind of deep into here. And I was thinking we were going to have to wait for a retracement, but we've got a couple candles that brought it right back into my entry zone again. So personally, I'm going to give it a shot right here, and of course hope that it's just going to come down, retest, and reject and come down. Keep an eye open. Here's the trend line that it's been following. Keep an eye open right over here to see if it's going to reject. If not, then you can keep an eye down in this area for take profit. But I'm gonna get really cautious if it comes down to that area right here, just because it's been respecting this trend line pretty heftily. My caveat is be cautious with it because on the higher time frame, I'm not convinced that it's not going to come back into this range at this point. Right? That's the attractive range to me. So put it, when you set up this trade, cover yourself really well with a stop loss. If it triggers a stop loss, it probably means that it's going to break through, retest, and come up. So just be aware of that when you set this trade up. But other than that, I'm going short right now, just to
Bruce,
get a trial.
I'm short. I'm sending this to zero with you.
Well, we're going to send it to heaven is where it's going to go. But we're going to come back down. Hopefully, we're going to come back to 1.168, and then it'll find juice to come up to that area. So
okay, there we go.
Yep.
We are short. We are short, Tomo. Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Guys, just quickly before David or Chris jumps in, there's loads of questions about this Discord. So let me get it open and let me just show you one more time. We are working on a few really cool things for you guys on the Discord, so just be patient. We are going to organize it a lot better than how it currently is organized. But I just want to give those that are asking where to find these charts. I'm just going to pull up the screen. So under Sheldon the Sniper, you guys can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got sniper setups. So I've added at the top indicator setups. So that's going to be Simon's area where he's dropping great setups here using the Lux algo. We've got another indicator that's coming to the party soon that he's going to be doing for us. So if you like the indicator stuff and you like Simon's setups, here's his area in Discord under indicator setups under the sniper setups menu for now. We're going to sort it out and make it a lot easier later. Then we've got David's trades and ideas. And I'm about to convert the Tomo section, which should have been done actually by now. Let's see if it's here. The Tomo section is Bruce's section, and we're changing it to Bruce's trades and ideas. So you're going to get a feed from Bruce now on the Discord in this area here. You can see he's posting his setups every day. Look at all these trades, Bruce. I love this. Okay, so, and then you'll see we all actually going to break it down. We're going to have a section of my stuff. We're going to have a section of Bruce. We're going to have a section of Dave. We have a section of Simon, Jay, Chris will even get involved there. So yeah, it's going to be cool, guys. Just give us some time. We are things are happening really fast here. So we're trying to just get a bit more organized, but it's all here. So, and then the general charts that I do, you'll see them all here as well. Yes, Render. Yeah, we were talking about this this trend pressure on Render the other day. It was here in the Discord. So if you check in on the Discord every day, you'll see these setups, these ideas, the thoughts that I have around these things. It's all here for you guys. Okay, look at Uni. We called this double bottom setup here on Uni. Look here, we were looking for it. When was this? A couple of days ago. We had the double bottom playing out here. So all the stuff's here, guys. Use it to your advantage, use it to learn, use it to prep. And you know, there's going to be setups coming through. It's so exciting. Okay, Dave, what do you got for us?
Yes, sir. And thanks for getting me a section there. It's pretty awesome how everything's evolving.
We need you there. We need you.
Yeah, and great stuff there, Bruce. Appreciate all that. Appreciate that Tomo setup. Okay. So yeah, you were pointing out Rune. I saw that update this morning, literally touched the trend. So I am looking for an upside move here. It would be pretty nice. So I drew this fib here. So from the very, very top, guys, that crazy wick, all the way down here, kind of lines up perfectly with an order block that I discovered on the 4 hour. So I marked out two order blocks here. So those would be the potential targets. My entry on Rune is 1.576 at 10x. So it's still, in my opinion, would be a good entry. To play it super safe, I would say your stop should be below the trend line at 1.561, which is where I have my stop loss. And the reason being, again, I'm still bearish on Bitcoin. The market's not really doing too much. There's no new money coming in. I mean, just to kind of go back to Bitcoin for a second, this crazy candle here that happened. Let me see if I can show you guys. Get rid of this Lux algo. So, you know, this this is kind of crazy to me. You've seen it come down, and I showed you guys this a couple, I guess, last Friday, this little range here, this blue range. I have not modified it, but it literally came to the very bottom, grabbed that liquidity, came up, trapped some longs, came back down. For me, that is a bearish play. You know, it just seems like there's a lot of people wanting volatility. They're kind of forcing it and playing some games with us. So again, I am looking for lower on Bitcoin. Nothing has changed there. So yeah, that Rune setup, if Bitcoin holds itself, I am seeing higher, but you know, Rune has done its deal where, you know, the market is bearish and Rune tends to take off. So
yeah, Rune didn't really care about when was it, 3 weeks ago? It just pumped. So
it has its own little party here. So
yeah.
But you know, if it starts to lose this trend, this is maybe where we would look for some short setups, and something that I would like to see as it comes down and then maybe touches the top of this trend line here. Maybe that would be like an entry for a short and write it down. But for now, we broke the trend line. Let's just keep an eye on that. Last night, I talked about, yesterday I talked about the top of this wick here, that yes, this looks like a nice resistance area, short area, but I had my alert set up here. The alert went off and I entered my link short last night before I went to bed at 6.36. So again, right up here. And yeah, with Bitcoin being bearish, it'd be nice to see it come all the way back down here, at least. So nice scalp move, you know, 5% move. And that's kind of in these markets right now. I think if you guys are looking to make consistent profits, is, you know, 20, 30, 40%, close it 20, 30, 40%. I mean, that's, you know, it's what the market's giving us right now. So take what the market will give you, as they say.
I've got a little idea that I'm playing with, Dave, just on Dave's comments there, guys. Instead of having one trade, for example, I'm playing around with having 2 or 3 with the same total value, so that in case the market does carry on and carries on ripping, I'm going to close my one at TP and be very disciplined about it, and I'm going to leave the other one open just in case we get a bit more of a push. So it's just a little experiment I'm playing with at the moment. So instead of only having one position and closing it in TP and then feeling upset if it pumps more, I'm now keeping one open on another trade. So yeah, just something I'm playing with, maybe an idea, guys.
No, I think it's a great idea, and I think I saw Bruce talk about this before, but you know, having both a long and short position open sometimes is a good strategy. That way, if the market moves a certain direction, you're banking profits on one of them, and then monitoring the other one that may not have went the way you wanted it to, and then looking for that reversal there and adding to that potential or that specific position. Yesterday you had called out if I took a short on cast. I said not yet. I did take a short down here at this trend line, got stopped out. It did its break, and typically when there's a break of trend, it tops out and then it likes to come down. And there's two scenarios here. It was a fake out and it will continue to come down here like this. That's one scenario, or it's the standard, you know, retest here. So if we draw a fib from the bottom to the top, right, we might see this potential move to come down at least to the 618, and also the 382 could be a potential long entry there, which would be at 0.0381 if CAS is bullish on this breakout. So a couple things to pay attention to on that. Like I said, we've all been looking for the CAS revenge trade. I took that short at 0.0397, so a little bit of profit at 10x. We'll see. I'm just going to monitor it.
So there's just some tokens that don't gel with me, and CAS has beaten me 3 times. So the next time I trade CAS is going to be on someone else's instruction. So I'm waiting for somebody to tell me to take a trade on CAS, because I can't tell myself anymore.
You will get yours, sir. You will get your revenge. I talked about Maker yesterday, guys. I did take a long on the 618, and nothing's really changed with what I've said. I kind of see a move up to the upside. It seems like it's one of those tokens that are a little bit bullish, not crazy bullish, but I'd like to see it come up here, and then again, looking for potential short rejection in this region here. So if you guys are bearish on Maker, maybe, and I'll do that with you guys here on the stream, I'll set an alert here for potential short, and one right here as well. I like setting multiple alerts just to monitor it. So the first alert will kind of get you looking at your phone, looking at the charts, and then from that point is where you'll wait for the reaction, which is what I saw on Cast yesterday, which is why I took that short. So short entry, short area 1, and this could be short area 2. And again, when it gets here, and you can see why, right? You can see it's kind of topped out over here. So this kind of all falls in line. And I think that's pretty much it. I mean, Stacks is kind of still at that. I still have an entry on Stacks. I haven't been stopped out, but it's kind of holding this trend line here. So maybe we'll see something like this and break up. Again, in my opinion, Stacks is at its low. I don't know how much lower you can go on this one. Yeah, nothing's changed. One thing I did notice to pay attention to on Phantom, you could see how hard when that wick came in with Bitcoin, it literally came down to this support box that we've had out for a while. Nothing's changed here. This hasn't changed. Almost to the T, and bought right back up, and it's still holding this trend line. So will there be movement on Phantom? One day. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Phantom
I mean,
and Gala.
when I look at things like Phantom and Avax, I keep watching these levels slightly lower down. Like even this Phantom at 0.194. I think if we get that BTC weakness, we might just pick it up there again. And have a nice long there.
I don't know. It's on my watch list as well. I was
Mm.
looking at the level that it's at now, and it went on the end of December last year. That was when it started its massive pump, and it was from this exact zone
Yeah, no,
that
this
it's
is a
in now.
good area. So, if Bitcoin holds itself or it has a small dip and it starts a small reversal, again, I would like to see a Bitcoin 5% rally at least. This coin would be sent with it for sure.
Mm.
So, and then, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Nothing changed on Gala. I mean, you guys can see here, like I told you guys, my stop losses below the wick. We have not, I mean, it made its a little attempt yesterday, but it didn't quite make it there. So if you guys are still hanging on this trade, hey, it's still a trade that I'm in. But again, with the market guys, some of us are like, man, we need to make profits now. Let's trade. Let's make money now. We're doing our best to try to find these setups with this low volatility here with the majority of these altcoins. But if I see something new, I'll post it in the Discord there. So
I like this Gala. I've got a sneaky feeling about Gala. It's going to pump. It's going to give us something here.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be some random.
I do like it down here.
I like your sneaky feelings. I love it when you have a sneaky feeling, though.
I like it. I want to shout out to Rodolfo in the chat. He seems to be our resident fundamentals man. He's always dropping some cool info there. So Rodolfo says Maker is possibly moving to Solana blockchain. That's why Vitalik sold his Maker. Nice, Rodolfo. Keep it coming, man. Thank you. We appreciate what you're doing there. There he is saying thanks to us. Nice. Cool, man. Chris, what are you trading, man? What do you have?
Yeah, let me share. I'll just take you through what I'm looking at the moment, or what I'm watching. You can see my screen?
Yeah.
So this is this is my watch list. It's not necessarily something I'm trading immediately, but I'm watching to see some kind of confirmation that there's a trade coming. So Phantom's the first one on my list, and I've got us literally sitting on this trend line coming down, and we've been failing to break above the mid range, which means I'm looking for a bit of a break here, either that or a candle wick down to the bottom. If we get a wick down here, I'm going to start an entry with the expectation that at least it gives me a decent opening entry on Phantom. And then when we break above my mid-range, which is 2045, I'll start laddering in more on the lower highs or higher lows. Always, yeah. So higher lows. And I'm looking to build a position on Phantom. If we can get some bullish movement, I'm really just looking for moves at the moment where I can kind of get something on support or resistance, where if I'm wrong, then it's breaking support and turning it into resistance. And then I know, okay, cool, I'm going from long to short, and vice versa. So yeah, if we get something here, if we get another wick down to the bottom of the on the support zone, which was the same area that we pumped to heaven last year, December. I'll zoom out here. So yeah, this exact area that we're in now was when we somehow majestically did 250%. I mean, I don't think I'm not
Chris,
looking for that.
I like what you're saying here, and this is the same stuff we're seeing on Avax. We're seeing it on Injective. We're seeing it on a couple of alts that are building like this. So, it's a little bit exciting looking at what you're showing us there. Maybe we do get a nice move.
I hope so. I mean, we're still not getting any higher highs on this, which is kind of why I'm not in it. If we were at least I don't like entering in a range. I want to see some direction, but if we get another wick down here, then I'll take it that they're going for I'll take a gamble, I guess, with a small entry that they're going for the stop losses over here. You know, that's what this wick down here did. So it came and took out those stop losses. So I feel that they're building something. Whether or not we get another wick down, or if we get another wick down to these levels, then I'll take an entry with a small stop loss over here, and just to kind of start building. Or if we get a break above the mid range, creating a higher high, then I'll start building a position on the higher low. So I've got an alert kind of at the 2044 level to see if we could break there. Gala, David already mentioned it. I'm also in this trade, trying to just like kind of building it. I like what I was saying now with Phantom. So I added to my position with this wick down, and so I'm sitting at around 2158 now, so just under this low. And then I'm just kind of waiting to see some higher highs, and a break out of this this range over here. And then, I mean, I like it because we've got just way too much upside. If, for instance, we get something bullish, you know, the partners come to a resolution and the court case is closed, anything like that, and you're going to see Gala go berserk.
Yeah,
then
I agree.
Then I'm eyeing a couple shorts on potential. Look, on Render over here, you see we're forming a lower high. So I took this long on my funnel up. So I took the touch here underneath up to the 786, and now we are forming a lower high now. So I think we actually just did it while I've been on the show with you guys. I didn't get my entry, but you know, around this level, if these candles start closing lower, then I take that as a lower high, and that's potentially the same thing as what happened. So that's a potential short right now. If we remember last time, I told you guys over here when everyone was looking to go long on Phantom, and I told you,
your last
I'm going
short that you called. Your last short that you called was perfection.
Yeah,
so
that was here
I think we need to listen to this
high.
man when he says there's a short brewing here. I think we must listen to Chris. I like
the
it.
reason why I
setup
like
looks
it.
Good.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.
The reason why I like this potential short is because it's also a 1% stop loss. You know, if we break these highs, then it's not a lower high. That's you can literally, well, now it's a bit of a bigger stop loss. That's still a 1% and returning. So just something to potentially take.
Yeah, it's a good setup.
So potential short playing out now on Render. And then the next one on my watch list is Sand, just because it's just so low, so low, and we also are coming into this trend line now. So I'm looking to see what happens with price action. Same thing as Phantom. It's basically a similar setup as Phantom. We kind of failing below this range, below the mid range. We either break and create a higher, and then I would treat this as a double bottom here. If we can create a higher high, we would be breaking the trend down, and then you could start entering from the mid range. Either that, or you get a bit of another wick down to the bottom, and you can kind of build something with a tight stop loss, create lower. If you create lower lows, then we're wrong, but potentially something playing out here on Sand. And then I'm looking to play it basically from there up. Where's that? Let me just do that again. Up there, so it's about 11% to the next resistance. And if we can break that resistance, then we are looking at a much larger time frame. And then, so depending on if everything turns bullish, you've got a 10% to the next resistance zone. You've got 100% to to the mid-range on the high time frame. If I was to zoom out there, so to the top of there. So yeah, another one on my watch list, looking to see if we can get if the trend changes and we get another higher, then I can treat that as a double bottom and we play it level to level. And then Link, I was also looking at a potential short. I saw this playing out actually, Bell, while you were talking. I don't want to interrupt, but there was, so on this move up on Link, the 238 tapped very nicely for a quick long to the top of the range. I mean, it's only 2.5%, but it's a decent hedge to my short. So same thing as playing what I've just said on Render. If either what's going to happen here is we're going to get another episode like Cass, where this thing shoots through the range and goes and claims all of this. Yeah, that kind of this box over here that's been sitting, waiting. You know, if things can turn bullish, then I think Link's going to shoot through here. In which case, I've got a dual setup on Link. I will short this as I'll use my little long here, and then I'll short it as a lower high. And if I'm wrong, I'll get stopped out. Stop loss is basically just above this area over here, so just above 6433, right? If I get this, if it's forms a lower high, then I've got a short down to the bottom, and I'll watch obviously its reaction against these levels. If I'm wrong, then it'll break and retest this as support, and we can play it as a long. But
Okay,
that's
Chris,
that's what I've got on my watch list.
Looking good. Looking good.
Thank you.
So guys, there was a question about OP and then a question about natural gas. I also see IOTA is starting to push again. Yeah, just do your own research on this thing. I don't know, maybe our head fundamentals man Rodolfo can drop something in there for us quickly on IOTA. Maybe he knows what the story is. Let's pull up a natural gas chart. Okay, so this is IOTA. Eyes on this one for now. I'm watching it closely. Still looking at this 200-day MA up there. I'm looking at the 50-day support. Let's see how we go. Maybe we get that nice rejection, get a nice buy in there. Let's see. Okay, natural gas. So I assume the natural gas situation, we had a question about the chart and somebody's trading it. I believe they're long. I suppose we're moving into European winter. So I would think this natural gas price is correlated to that. And it might make sense that things start turning potentially. So what do we have here? All I've got for you here is a rising trend. We've got this little wedge situation. So if I were you, if you're looking to be long, that's probably a zone where you could probably grab something. Your stop is clearly defined. You can see these areas over here. There was support over here. So you can watch those areas as your support zones. Okay, there we go. And then target wise, it's a tricky one because I think a lot of this pricing was brought about through the war and the gas issue in Russia and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, where is it going to go? It's difficult to say, obviously. Let's take a look at some fibs here. Well, there's a big one. That 200-week MA and 382, that is a huge, huge, huge area. Okay, this is a lovely area. Wow. Okay. That could be a nice short zone there. Could also be a nice target zone. So yeah, looking at this, if we get that break and push up, I'm pretty sure it will respond to this 200-day MA. It does have work to do at the 50. So support buys for me, and then you can add on a trend break and retest, you could probably grab, I would say. So pullback buys I like down here. And then I also like break, retest buys. Maybe we reject off that area and then we push up. This would be a very nice target. It will be a big move. 50%. Okay, and where were we? That was January 23. We were up there. And December 21. Okay. It's a big area, very big area. North African countries and South American countries. So I'm just reading the comments here. Okay, guys, do you want me to look at anything else?
There was a few comments for Nia.
Yeah, okay, I see Nia, Scallop. There's a Gala fan in there. Okay, let's look at Nia. See what Nia is going to give us. Tight range. See, it's looking like Phantom. It's looking like all these other tokens. Dot looks like this. Just lots of consolidation while I suppose pretty much while we wait into next week. So I think we're going to see some action soon, up or down, we can't say, but I think the action's coming. When you see consolidation like this, you generally do get a big move, just, you know, which way. The best way to handle it, if you want to sort of pick a side and you want to say this thing's going to be bullish at some point, then just buy any moves down, buy. Okay, don't long up there. Okay, so wait for these pullbacks, buy these, and then just hang on to it and see what happens. Every time it comes back, you can add. Same with the bears. Just buy these pumps into sell these pumps into resistance. Just hang on to it. There will be a big move. They might even come and test this wick here. When you got this type of stuff happening, they're not going to let you get away with this easily. They might just come and flush everyone in both directions, especially after a long move like that. So just whatever trade you're in, long or short, just be aware that they're going to try and flush you either way. So make sure you have nice wide stops, or you low leverage, or you make sure you're managing your position size carefully here. If you're picking up high leverage trades in the middle of this range, you're opening yourself up to danger. So rather be patient, let it push very high or let it pull back very low, and then get those longs or shorts in. And these flushes can be very quick. You can get 4 or 5% moves in a 15-minute candle, even worse, up, down. So next week could be wild. It could be exciting. I mean, this stuff's probably going to happen while we're on these sessions. So that's something to look forward to. Okay, Scallop.
Yeah.
Guys, I need to go.
Jay, thank you. How's that trade looking?
Yeah,
Is it in its zone?
I'm keeping a close eye on the Dixie. The Dixie is playing games up and down against current resistance. So, yeah, we have to wait and see a proper rejection, and then I'm sure we'll see some nice upside.
Yeah. Okay, so you're not in it yet, huh?
In W World
Wild, yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? WorldCoin.
WorldCoin, yeah. I've got a small position at the moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jay,
Bye-bye.
thank you.
Cheers, Jason.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, Jason.
Jeez, look, when I was last charting this thing, when I was using yellow boxes. Okay, let's look at these levels. Scallop daily. Okay, let's look for some big areas of support. See, when I look at that, it's almost like it wants to just wick a little bit lower, one more move lower. See this weekly. I like to look at these weekly candles. Look at that. Nice buying there. So to me, I want to see that. I want to see that move in there. We can see curve is looking like that as well. So 0.116, that sort of region. I think you might get that the way it's looking. So I think just be patient. If you like Scallop, and I don't know how you're trading it, leverage, whatever the story is. If you're trading spot, you can maybe look to just ladder in as it comes. You might just see a little bit more of this for the next few days, but I really think at some point we're going to get that. They're going to just come and take out both sides, and then they're going to pick a direction. So just be careful. Just wait for it. Even a fake out below these guys. So yeah, anything down to 0.11 even they could come for. Because they know that if you're buying here, they know that you're putting your stops under there. So they know where it is. Okay, Rodolfo says IOTA Shimmer EVM launch would make it Ethereum compatible. Okay, that's pretty decent news. I remember like 3 years ago, I was buying IOTA at 35 cents or whatever it was, thinking it was a good deal. And I mean, here it is now. It hit 13 cents the other day, 3-4 years later. OP, yes, Greg, we're going to do OP now. Tommy wants to know, how do you access, he can't access the Discord for some reason. Guys, do you know, I think Josh is in there as a mod in Discord. You guys can just, there's a couple of people in the Banter Discord. You can text them or tag them, and they can guide you through how to get involved there. Okay, cool. So let's look at Optimism. We had a couple of questions about that one. So for me, Optimism is still in this bearish setup. Doesn't mean it's going to play out when we see a head and shoulders. We saw Cass half played out this bearish head and shoulders, and then thought, no, well, that's enough, and broke trend and started pumping again. So for me, Optimism, I want to see this move lower. You can see this sort of a bear flag here. I'd love to see this move. Like maybe because I want it too much, we're not going to get it. But to me, it makes sense that we get this. I'd want to see them flush this out, and I want to see them come down here, this 1.2. Let's see if we get it. This trend takes us to the 15th, 14th, Friday the 15th, which is that quadruple witching. So let's see what we get out of this. We might get a monster rejection, or we could get the monster pump. And that's why we've put the trend in here. So you add this trend to track. So if you're unsure about trading off levels, you can wait till this trend gets broken, and it can start making its way up. Remember, this area was a nice area that we identified a while back, the 618 zone. So if it breaks up, you don't have to panic. If things are going to turn bullish, there's time. You're going to get that. Remember, these stocks on the 4 hours, I like to watch them up, down, up, down, up, down. It could take time. So if it does get bullish, let it break trend, let it pull back, get your buy in. We can still deal with the next trend. Okay, this thing can keep going. So there's many ways to play it. So if we get this opportunity though, 1.2, for me, I think I'm gonna have a crack at it along here. Tasman says, if you guys were to choose 3 or 5 coins that you would buy now and hold till after the BTC halving, or even to the bull run, what would they be? It's a tricky one. I'll need to think about it a little bit, but I do like the idea of holding Phantom and Sol, probably Optimism, Arbitrum. Rodolfo, drop in some comments there. I know you, the fundamentals man. Yeah. I'm gonna grab things that I think will just move like safely. We'll pull in Simon as well. He's a shitcoin extraordinaire. I mean, he's found Cass, he's found Taraxa, he's found all of these things. So we're gonna get him in here, and we're gonna get Simon to give us some tokens. If you want some winners, I'm the wrong guy to ask. I trade these charts. I look for what it's going to give me. Simon's doing all that work in the background, so we'll bring you some. I see Marcus is Injective. I like Injective. Render, I love. It's tough. 3 to 5 is tricky. 3 to 5 coins is tricky. I'll probably need 10. Render and Rune, I like that. Sol Optimism, I like that. Solana Link, I like that. Link, I don't know, maybe not Link. I used to love Link. Link was trading to 50. I was longing Link at 40 a couple of years back. Maybe it could be a good one. Yeah, guys. So I agree with a lot of these comments coming through here.
Can't wait for
Rodolfo
the
says
bull.
it depends how much risk. Yeah, wait for the bull this time. Yeah, Rodolfo's made a good comment there. Exactly. What's good for me might not be good for you. Like I don't own any CAS, for example, and Simon owns a shit ton of CAS. So yeah, you know, so do your work. I know like some of the other guys like GFAL, Games for a Living. That could be a good one. Nakamoto Games, PYR, I know the guys like the gaming stuff. AI, make sure you have AI tokens. The CFX is a Chinese token. When these Chinese pump the market, they pump the market. You know, you want to own a couple of Chinese tokens in the mix. You want to own a couple of layer 2s. What's taking over from Matic? There's probably a new version of Matic. Matic's probably old bull run stuff. Yeah, and then you got to jump into these DeFi things as well, I would say. There's probably some crackers out there. And then some DEXs. DYDX, SNX, GMX. Those things will make a lot of money in the bull run. So they'll probably be good ones to hold. Yeah, there we go. Angela says GMX. Weave could be one. ETH BTC, yeah, I like ETH BTC. It's a nice safe play, but BTC is not going to give you a 15x. Oh, maybe. But yeah, BTC might give you a 2 or 3x. Farafin, I feel like I want to sell my ADA and get into something like Render. Well, I had ADA at 30 cents, thought I was so smart when it went to $3, and then it came back to 20 cents. So I don't know. Basically, what you need to do is just make sure you offload as you start making profit in that bull run. What about WLD? It's AI eye scanning. Yeah, that could be a good one, Tasman. Guys, so this is turning into a fundamentals chat. I think that's pretty much everything from my side, chart-wise today. We'll bring Simon on. He'll bring in some comments about some tokens. There's definitely something I'm planning there with him. I want him to give us 1 or 2 of these special tokens a week or something, and he can brief you guys on his research and what he's done and why he likes it. I mean, he's found these gems. He put something like 100 into CAS and it did 7,000% or something ridiculous. So he knows his stuff. So yeah, we'll definitely add that to the mix. But that's it. Yeah, that's it from me, guys. I don't know if you've got anything else to add. Team,
No,
Bruce, Chris, Dave.
No, great job, everybody.
doing great.
Yeah, thanks.
Doing great.
It's always fun.
Yeah,
I
awesome,
dig it.
man.
It just feels like we're hanging out with everyone, talking about trading. It's so much fun. I
Yeah.
mean, it's great,
Yep.
guys. I love it.
This is
And
the
I
fun
like
stuff.
the teamwork in here, the comments in the chat, guys. Just keep the comments coming. You know, we love this. We sitting in a room together, trading with you. I'm happy to occasionally bring 1 or 2 of you up. If you've got a question or you got something interesting for us, we can also bring you guys up and talk through it. So yeah, cool, guys. Keep it going.
Yes, to answer your question, I have an AMA at it's 8:30, so in an hour and a half on Discord.
Bruce loves the community,
Yeah, I do. Well, but these guys are
So
great.
awesome, man.
Enthusiastic,
So
they're
awesome.
happy, they're smart. They you know, it's a really great community. So
Guys, yeah, this
That
is
it is,
really
that
good
it is.
stuff. Okay, guys, have a good day or a good evening. I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Mike
Dale.
says, love,
Thank you,
love
Bruce,
the
David.
dill
Yeah,
chills.
thanks,
thanks,
Dale.
Chris. Thanks, Bruce. Yep,
Later,
awesome,
take care,
guys.
David.
See you tomorrow.
Woo.
Okay, brother.
Ciao, ciao.